Coffee steaming, no rush, no lane. World's been shouting all night long. I pour a cup, let the silence talk. I didn't leave angry, didn't storm the door. I just stepped sideways away from the roar. Pull up a chair, let the clock unwind. This isn't breaking news, it's breaking the grind. They sell fear by the hour, package rage by the pound. Every screen's got an opinion, every voice trying to sound like they know what's coming, like they've cracked the code. But the loudest ones panic when you step off the road. I've seen cycles repeat, watch them rise, watch them fall. Empires shouting forever right before they stall. So I sip and I watch, let the headlines fight. Truth don't need a megaphone, it waits out the night. They want speed, they want fire, they want sides, they want lines, they want heroes and villains every damn time. But life ain't a headline, ain't red versus blue. It's quiet decisions people never review. Yeah, yeah, they want me. Freedom's loud? Nah, freedom's calm. It's knowing when to walk while the others all run. I'm not late to the party, I just left it early. Seen how it ends, same mess, same worry. Take a breath, let the cup cool down. The world will keep spinning without your sound. We'll be right here when the dust don't fly. coffee on the table, morning in the sky. This is coffee time, live. No need to run. We'll talk again when the day's begun.
Exotic beans in a steady grind. Water hot, no rush, no show. Milk turns silk in careful time. Dark cup from lake clean and slow. Mountain groom, strong and true. A Colombian cappuccino made right here above the blue.
Sunlight spills through the cafe door. Mic goes live like it's done before. 9 years deep in these mountain towns, we brew the truth, not just sit around. I came for a visit and stayed for the view, but the soul of this place, it just pulls you through. Mornings in Finlandia, nights in Salento. Life don't move fast, but man, it's full tempo. This ain't a pitch, it's real as it gets. From lost bags to love and bureaucratic regrets. No script here, just the sound of real lives told live every week under Colombian skies. It's coffee time lived from the heart of Quindío, where the screen fades out and the real stories flow from expats who landed and locals who guide. We laugh, we vent, we cry, we ride. It's not about views, it's about the vibe. Just raw conversation, live and alive. Got folks tuning in from every time zone, asking what's it like to make this place your own. It's mango trees, it's rent debates, it's finding peace past the clickbait gates. Some days we talk visas,
Some days we just breathe and sip dark roast while the valley grieves through mudslides, marches, markets, and mess. We show up with stories, no more, no less. It's coffee time lived, not just a name on a screen. It's 9 years of mornings and everything between. No hype, just heart and a decent brew. A place for the honest, the warm, the true. Not selling dreams, just sharing the ride from right here in Quindío live. And if you've ever felt a little lost or wide awake at dawn, this show was made for you to lean on. We're not tourists here, we belong, we build in mountain towns where the air stands still. So bring your mug, your doubts, your days. We'll light 'em up in soft cafe rays. It's not a podcast, it's a porch light glow. It's home and a headline, a yes and a no. It's coffee time live. Come as you are, from my table in Colombia to wherever you are.
Welcome back to the channel, Grand Columbia, and welcome to a Friday night special Coffee Time Live. And for those of you who showed up, I'm amazed and thank you. I have ulterior motives, and I will tell you about it. It won't hurt you at all. Let's see. First, I want to tell. I'm not going to have news or anything. I have a main topic. I have a couple things to mention, and then the main topic, the thumbnail. But let me see here. All right, this is a shot of the chat. Now, yours could be the live chat. Yours could be white. It could be black, depending on how you have it set. I do so much work on the computer. I prefer the white, but after a while, it kind of gives me a headache. So I put the dark on. Anyway, if you look down here, where you would actually enter the chat in, if you look to the left, this is the Coffee Time Live. This is a saying in Colombia, and this is the main channel. I think the problem we had before was the same logo here was here for Coffee Time Live. So they're all distinct now. And so if you say, well, I can't enter in the chat, take a look at that, because it's probably the main channel. So you want to click on the Coffee Time Live, and then you should be all set. Make sense? Okay, chat markers. Okay, so here's my ulterior motive. We're at the end of the month, and Rumble is supporting the channel now, which is awesome, but I have to meet certain metrics. And there's one that I fall short every month. So let me show you. Here's my metrics. So if you could see this, creator program, February, every month I have to meet this. So the first one is hours streamed from Rumble Studio. That's live streaming. So I've streamed 42 hours. They require 30. So it's not bad. I hit that every month. No problem. I go over it. This is the one I have a problem with. Total unique chatters, which is the live chat this month, 16. I only need 20. You think that would be fine, but I have the same people every week on Coffee Time that comment. And the problem is for this, it counts one person one time a month. So there has to be 20 distinct, unique people that hadn't put anything in the chat for the entire month. So I'm short 4, but the only way I can make it up is the people who sit quietly. If you don't put something in the chat, I'm going to fall short. And what happens if you fall short on any of these metrics, it doesn't get reduced. You just don't get paid for that month. And this one, the Rumble Premium requires 5 hours. I got almost 6 hours, so I'm good there. Hours watched this month, they only require 200. I'm at 183. I always go over because that's always going. And total unique raids this month, that's something for me. It's not a big deal. That used to be for those ad reads. It would require 5 or 6 ad reads, which it's not requiring, at least not the last few months. And so here I am at the end of the month. Tomorrow's like my last shot. And I had to figure out a way to try to pick up those 4 chats or I don't get paid. And if I don't get paid, then I've got to try to pay out of pocket with subscriptions. And we all know with the way costs have gone and the way the peso is, it's not the easiest thing in the world right now. So if you haven't commented before, comment now, please. Yes. Rock Monster, word of mouth from Canada. Thank you. Thank you. I think you're new. Awesome. I just picked one up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, at least I don't have to beg you for money. I just have to beg you for put a little comment. You put a Canadian flag. That's awesome. How's that hockey going, by the way? All right. Sorry. Let's see. Looking at my list here. That chart. Okay, website. 50 at 50. Good evening. Web. Well, I chatted last time, so I guess I don't count. Well, if you chatted last time, it counted. Let me look at what I picked up or not. Nope. So 50-50, Mr. Webb. Yeah, it counts for me because I picked you're one of those handful that are there. It doesn't count a second time. Then in March, you will count one more time, which is not a little thing. It boggles my mind because I look to see how many people watch the video. I mean, right now, if everybody that's there put a comment in here, even for the people that have already commented, I would have enough to cover the month. I would have more than enough. I'd have way more. Anyway, you're not here for that, but I felt I should explain it. What's next? It's not a big deal, but I'll show you anyway. I've been working on the website, changing it over. I don't know if this is going to stay the new look, but I made it a heck of a lot simpler. I had all kinds of stuff because it accumulated over the years. That website's been up since 2015, 2014, something like that. And it just kept accumulating. So, so I just kind of got rid of everything and started over again. It kept me busy yesterday. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, we're almost to the main topic. I do want to point out, let's see, the books. These are all on Amazon. The first one here is a nonfiction, and it's about AI. And it's a ton of documentation on things I've discovered. The second one, The World Under Our Feet, that is a science fiction book. The third one, The Inhabited, is a AI science fiction book. The second one, science fiction, is it's hard to explain without giving it away the plot, but we'll just say it's a lost civilization. And then the third one, the middle one here, it's a science fiction AI. And the fourth one, The Last Storage, that's a nonfiction book. That's the one that took so much research. I've never researched a single thing as much as I did for that thing. I mean, I do a lot of research, but that particular thing, it took months. Anyway, and the last one, or the chat's in the way here, The Vanishing Cycle, that is also science fiction story. Now, The Last Storage, The Vanishing Cycle, and The World Under Our Feet, they're all different, but they're all related. So I've got the nonfiction that lays a groundwork for the two fiction pieces, and they're in the same theme, but they're very different. It's like the opposite ends of the same spectrum, which probably doesn't make sense, but if you ever read them, you'll get it. All right, and let's see. Are we done there? Oh, and the last thing, AI, I've got 6 in the Sane in Columbia channel. I've got 6 videos on AI, about 7 or 8 hours worth, and 2 of the videos are really for beginners. If you want to get started, if you don't understand, you don't know what to do. One of the videos I just start right from opening up the website. So that's there if you ever need it. Let's see. And now we're almost to the mystery topic. George, how you doing, George? It's been a while. Great to see you. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. I think I might have picked up a chat from you, because it's been a long time. And let's see. Miss Olga. Hi, Lauren. Would you happen to know the best deal with the Patriot Act if you don't have a relative's address to use? With the Patriot Act, banks are very strict on having an actual address. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Best deal. Okay, so you're saying that if you're here, but you're keeping a bank in the United States and they need an address for that? If you don't have a friend or a relative that you can use or at least one that's you can really count on, and when I say count on, that would mean time goes by, and that would mean for the next handful of years, then what you're going to pretty much have to do is either switch to here, which of course I don't really recommend unless you have to, or you can get one of those $20 a month post office boxes that appear as a real address. They don't all. You have to check. Some will come out like their real address, not like they're a post office box. And if you can, get one in Florida. They're all over the place. And a lot of them, the big ones, you usually get your pick of different places around the country. They might have 6 or 7 different locations across the country to choose from. But the reason I say pick one in Florida is because if you decide that you want to get something, they will reship, they'll repackage and reship. So let's say you got something on Amazon and you had it sent to there, they'll turn around and reship it to you from the post office. Now you can have Amazon send it directly also. I mean, that's a way. So it's not like it's critical. I'm just saying it may turn out sometime that it might be important. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, come on, somebody say hi. Yeah, that's it's definitely an issue. Rock Monster, coffee time. It's okay to ask about hockey. we're Canadians. The Olympics are over. We own that we lost. Our hockey season is back on. We're walking towards playoff Stanley Cup. Yeah, it means more to Canadians. Well, at least now it means more. I mean, if you got the goal, and that's the thing. It's like it's not like you walked out with nothing. I mean, it was an overtime by the skin of your teeth in the last breath, and you still got silver. So I mean, we might tease, and the only reason I think people are teasing is it kind of stung when they were booing the national anthem kind of thing. It was like, wait a minute, we're brothers. That's a bit over the top. It's like, take some of these things that should roll off and you don't make them personal kind of thing. And I think that's where some people were delighting in, making Canada jokes and stuff. For me, I don't care. I mean, I was born in Canada. Well, that's a secret, right? I am telling the whole thing in my personal book when that finally comes out, if I ever finish it, that I was born north of Montreal, out in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, and smuggled back across the border. I mean, I should have been. My mother went to visit a relative. She's from France, and she had some French relatives there. And she was pregnant, and I came early, and so I was there for a couple of weeks, and then she came across the border. The thing is, back in those days, because I'm an ancient fossil, in those days there really wasn't a border. You just walked across. You didn't have anybody checking anything. I mean, there wasn't customs, waiting at it just, there was nothing there. So the real problem came when I had to get a birth certificate. Oh my God. Yeah, that was a big event. Okay. Where are we? We're ready for the main topic. If you guys are ready, you got your coffee? Sitting down? Because obviously tonight is not our regular show. Tonight's story time. And don't hate me. You could say this was clickbait, but there was a purpose. I want to tell you about a woman I met back in 2018, or at least that's when I really paid attention to her. I met her before that. Never really gave it much thought. But in 2018, I paid attention. And her name was Colombian Peso. And from the moment I laid eyes on her, or rather from the moment I did the math, I was completely smitten. So I got a chart here. Pineapple and ginger? All right, where's my chart? Here is my chart. No, we don't want that one. We want a different one. Hold on. I'm getting there. I want the window. I want that. I'm going to share that. And here we go. Whew. I really need a producer. So you don't have to sit through while I'm clicking on things, because I have to see what I'm clicking on. So I have to look away. All right. So here's the chart. So if you look at April, where are we? April right here, 2018. And if you look up, it was 2,700. This was right around the time I arrived. It was somewhere around 2,800. And if you look back, this was 2017. This is when I started coming from Ecuador over to Colombia. I'd lived in Colombia years ago, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. Well, a combination of both. And I won't tell that whole story tonight, but I was not in the condition to come and be here under the condition I remembered it being. So I was in Ecuador, but I decided to come check it out. And so I made a trip, and I ended up between the first red line and the second red line. I ended up coming 7 times total, returned 6. So I made 7 trips here from Cuenca, Ecuador, to Armenia. Well, in Manizales. So anyway, you see that little dip right there. This is where I first paid attention. 2,700 pesos to the dollar. Now I know what you're thinking. That doesn't sound like much compared to today. And honestly, at the time, I wasn't even sure about Colombia. I mean, I was coming over from Ecuador. I'm checking around, kicking tires. And somebody mentioned the exchange rate. And then I did the math on that part of it, what life here might actually cost. And it clicked. It was considerably less than Ecuador at the time. Now, that was before all the inflation hit, too. So it might have been 2,700, but it was much more palatable because things were considerably cheaper than they are today. So she wasn't that flashy at 2,700, but there was something about her. I mean, the coffee, the mountains, the way a dollar just went here in ways that simply didn't go anywhere else. And so I kept coming back. And then 2018, I moved here. Then she started to change. It was slow at first, but if you take a look at this chart, 3,000, 3,200, 3,500. I mean, I noticed, and I wasn't complaining. I mean, not even slightly, but every tick upward meant my dollar bought a little bit more in Colombia, a little bit more life, a little more traveling. Then 2020 hit, COVID, and the whole world went sideways. And then the chaos, you could see it right there on the chart. Right here. But then we had a big jump. And that first big jump shot up past 4,000. In November 2022, right here, right there, she peaked right up there, just over 5,000 pesos to the dollar. 5,000. I'm not going to lie to you. That was the most beautiful number I had ever seen in my life. Living here in Quindío at 5,000 pesos before inflation hit, it's almost embarrassing how good it was. Your money didn't just go far, it practically ran. I mean, you start doing the math in your head and then you stop because the answers make you feel guilty. I mean, in El Muerzo, that full lunch with soup and juice and all kinds of stuff for less than $2 back then. Specialist doctor visit my house for around $12. Rent that wouldn't cover a parking spot back in the United States. Everything was cheap and the peso was working in our favor. That was the honeymoon. And oh man, what a honeymoon it was. It was awesome. But here's the thing about honeymoons. They end. She started sliding in 2023. Slowly. I mean, maybe even gracefully. And then she settled around 43, 4,000. And it seemed like it was there for a while. I mean, maybe it wasn't, but it just seemed like it, which was still, I mean, it's wonderful. It was still generous, still a very good life. Inflation started rearing its ugly head. You know, the relationship we're having, it's like, well, this is just, it's a maturity in the relationship. Relationships settle, right? I mean, that's normal. But then 2024, the slide continued. It was still hovering around the 4,000, but it just kept bopping down, come up a little, bop down. The direction was wrong. I mean, I watched it the way you watch a warning light on your dashboard. You know, you probably shouldn't pay attention. You don't pay attention. But then last year came around, 2025. And that's when she broke my heart. She didn't do it dramatically. She didn't slam a door, make a scene. She just kept going month after month, quietly, steadily, taking her purchasing power back like she was packing her things one bag at a time. She went from around 4,400 at the start of last year all the way down. It got as low as 3,575. The lowest she had been since the day I met her, practically. And with the inflation, it was actually lower. And here's a number that still stings when I say it out loud. Did the math on what that slide cost me compared to where we were at its peak. Rough numbers, but real numbers. I lost the equivalent of about 1.5 million pesos every month last year. Every month. Not to a bad decision, not to poor planning, just gone. Because she changed her mind about how much she was worth. Now, this is where the story gets complicated, because love stories always get complicated, right? I mean, I can't even be entirely angry with her because technically she didn't do anything wrong. I mean, she got stronger. The Colombian economy improved. The peso appreciated. For Colombians, it was genuinely good news. It was tempered by the inflation, but even with the inflation, as bad as it was, things slightly improved. For those of us sitting on the other side of that equation, watching our dollar quietly buy less Colombia every week, it's a particular kind of grief that's hard to explain to anyone who hasn't lived it. You don't mention it at parties. I mean, what are you going to say? My foreign currency advantage is eroding. I mean, nobody wants to hear that. You adjust. You kind of recalculate, you step back, maybe you go cook at home. I haven't eaten out in several months. Everything's here. So in your case, maybe you cook at home one more night a week and tell yourself it's because you have a newfound love of cooking. But right now, right this moment, today, February 27th, 2026, she's sitting at 37.62. In the last couple of weeks, just barely, she's ticked upwards. A few pesos here, a few pesos there. I mean, it's probably nothing, but you can't help but notice it. You can't help but have an internal celebration. The way you notice when someone who's been slowly pulling away from you reaches out, just barely touches your hand for a second, you tell yourself not to read too much into it. You read into it anyway. Here's what almost a decade of this relationship has taught me. You don't move to Colombia for the exchange rate. You move here because of the coffee, the mountains, the people, pace of life, and the fact that even at 37.62, even after all the losses and all the slide, all the math that no longer feels quite as magical as it once did, you're still living better than you would be for the same money almost anywhere on earth. She's not the wild, generous creature she was at 5,000. She's not 18 going on 19 anymore. She's more complicated now, more expensive, more mature, more her own woman. But she's still Colombia. And Colombia, even on a hard financial day, is something most people only dream about living in. I mean, we actually get to live here. I just wish she remembered what we had. So, was it clickbait? Did I justify it? I'm curious if you feel like shooting me off an email. I mean, you're welcome to throw it in chat. How this rate thing has affected you. I mean, I know with some people it just rolled off their back. I guess it all depends on, where your income comes from. As we all know, because I whine about it enough, my income is, it's marginal. It's it's just sort of there, and it's running to try to keep ahead of the visa requirement every year. It keeps going up. I'm just scraping in there, but for some people, I know several people that are here not just on their Social Security, but they also have a lifetime in a job that gave them a big fat retirement also. Uh, okay, let's see let's see, chats, Pina and Ginger, the sweet CLP. For those of us that just came, it's still better. Well, yeah, yeah. If you haven't been here that long, you didn't experience that 5,000 it was amazing. Now you knew it wasn't going to stay there, and as low as it's just dipped, it's not going to stay there either. It's going to keep going up. This year, it's hard to tell. We're coming into a very important election season, and the first round is March next month. Uh, as a matter of fact, Sunday, my main topic, you may find it boring. I'm going to try to make it more of a story like this. I'm trying to lean in that direction, so I'm not quite as dry. Uh, you could mock my story, and that'll give you some entertainment just doing that. Um, I'm going to cover really everything I can about the election without getting too crazy. The 20 some candidates that are running, the different parties, the likelihood of the there's probably two people right now that look like they've got a pretty good shot. So I'm going to go over all of that Sunday. Let's see. You're like a romance author for accountants. Justify Columbia is the calm I've been longing for. Yeah, I love it here, and especially you know this last year and this year, as you know, I for personal reasons, I've spent way too much time in my apartment because I kind of needed to. However, all those projects I was telling you about, those books, these have been half baked, unfinished ideas for the longest time, with the exception of the AI. But those others, those were ideas that were jotted down years ago. And every so often, I put in a notebook, I expand the idea. And I've been working on my personal book of my life story for particular reasons. I should do that for several particular reasons, and so I've been working on that for years. When did I? I'm trying to think back when I actually started. I think I actually started writing in around 2014. So it's 12 years, and then I go in spurts. But this past year, I'm here. I'm not one that can sit around and do nothing. And TV, you can only watch so much TV. I've spent my whole life being productive, and so I don't want to stop being productive. And so I've turned my focus on that, and having the time to do that, but living in a place that even if I can't go out much, I mean, I can go out just here, right? In my building, I've got things here. I can go out and around. I can go down the block a little bit, but not very much. But even that, I got two balconies. I go off on either one, and I see this stunning backdrop. That where else are you going to get it? I mean, the weather, the temperature. People say, well, it rains too much. I love the rain. There's nothing better for me than having a thunderstorm at night, particularly if it accommodates when I go to bed. I love it. I love to fall asleep to a thunderstorm. In the rain. I mean, it's been raining mostly at night. And where I live in the north of Armenia, we don't get any of those water issues that happen all over Candio. I mean, I feel bad for them, but it's part of choosing where you live. I live in a place where we don't get the crime and we don't get bad consequences. We don't get mudslides. It's pretty awesome. And then I look at my retirement, and it's like, why is my retirement so low? Well, I had the cancer, and it went through about $500,000 in savings. It's long and complicated as to why, but everything that I had set aside to make a nice life of retirement, along with my Social Security, went up in smoke. And so here I am at bare minimum. And much of my life was my own business, and so I just didn't have that much in Social Security. So, there you go. So where would I be? I'd probably be living with my stepbrother in upstate New York, where it's pretty inexpensive, but it just wouldn't be the same thing. Here, I might not be going out, but it's not because I can't. I could go out if it weren't for something out of my control. If I were there, I wouldn't be able to anyway, because it's out in the country. Where am I going to go? It's not like you can walk to a local restaurant. It's just miles away. Dan, what do you got there? When the lockdowns came, everybody I knew was out of work, and I was subsidizing up to 5 families initially. I wish now that I had more in savings. Yeah, those are rough times. We were locked down. I think I was locked down about 6 months. And, some would say, well, it was a good, it's like awesome. Well, it wasn't awesome. A friend came to visit, and she wasn't the kind of friend that was like, oh, let's get stuck together. How cool. No, it wasn't like that. We're just friend. And when she was there, they shut the buses down. She couldn't leave town. And it was like all within a day or two, everything got closed down. She was stranded in my little tiny 2-bedroom apartment. And the second bedroom was the smallest thing. So what she did was, I had this floor, a tiny or a thin foam pad that was good for, if you're going to do sit-ups or something like that. So she would either sleep on that or she would sleep on my short couch. And, for 6 months. So she was miserable because neither one was very comfortable. I didn't really want to invite her into my bed. I mean, we were friends, and it just wasn't really cool. So the whole thing was just, and that's why I left before my contract was up by 1 or 2 months. I was willing to lose that money because that apartment wasn't very big. It was 2-bedroom, 2-bath, but it was very small. Everything was small except for my bedroom. The kitchen was everything was really small. And being locked up in there, I mean, I was just going crazy. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I don't care about that. That's when I moved over to Tracy Center, behind the mall. And here I got this big apartment, huge balcony, awesome view. It was like I moved from hell to heaven. Now, the apartment was fine. I lived there for 2 years, but being stuck in there, in a situation just wasn't comfortable for either of us. We kind of got on each other's nerves after a while, you can imagine. So, we kind of had to try to stay separated. So I would stay in the bedroom. She would stay in the living room, and she would, it was just, it kind of sucked. It just kind of sucked. Even if you can't go out here, you can always order in cheap. Rappi is, yeah, I've been pretty dependent on deliveries. Let's see. My retirement planning didn't include cancer and divorce. Bad planning. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Did I get my chats? I didn't get my chats. It's always the same people, which I greatly appreciate. I'm too short. I've got 18. I'm too short. I'm going to lose all the money to pay for my subscriptions and all the expense. It's going to go out the window, and I'm going to be crying in my coffee. Okay. So my last call, my last plea, if you haven't said anything in chat before we click off, because it only works in live chat, if you could just drop an emoji, that's enough. Just a little emoji. Or it would be better yet if you actually made a comment on, what you think about. Yeah. I don't get enough feedback on things like this topic tonight. I thought it would be a nice change of pace, something interesting, especially on a dry topic or something that I've done, but people keep asking about. And so I don't know. I tried to make it interesting for myself and hopefully for you, but I don't know. I mean, I'm really paddling in the dark. Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm sure there's some saying. I'm fumbling around in the dark. I got a blindfold and I'm looking for the donkey to pin the tail. I don't know. It's something like that, because I don't really know what would be interesting for people, so I'm trying, but I don't know. Maybe it goes over like a lead balloon. All right. I guess that's it. I could probably do an AI scene in Colombia, but hardly anybody really knows about that channel. And so when I do something on that channel, I get maybe 5 or 6 people show up, and it's usually like the same people. So, that won't help, but I'll probably have to try that. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you for coming. We had a nice crowd tonight, which I'm grateful for, and it surprised me. And if I don't see you in the same Columbia video tomorrow, I will see you Sunday, where we're going to talk politics. Ciao.
Wow.